Hi Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 90. If you are new to my channel, I hope you like what you see. Stick around, subscribe, do all the things. If you are a returning friend, thank you for coming and checking and visiting with me this week. I love you guys. And this is a week. This is going to be some StitchCon recap mixed in with just regular Flosstube and all the things. It was overwhelming, and I met so many new friends. I made so many memories, and I was unbelievably tired and still am since I've gotten home. It was just a blessing to be able to go and intermix with people. I probably even sound a little funny still. I felt like I talked so much, and I loved every minute of it. Even those crazy bugs, I was so happy to, I don't know, experience them because they only come around once every 17 years. Even when just to give you a small recap, I'm not going to go into details and bore everyone that wasn't able to go or isn't interested in it at all, because there's plenty of other people out there that put in videos. But I rolled out of town, and when I hit Dayton, Ohio, I felt like I was in a horror movie for those bugs hitting me going down the interstate. So that was cute. I drove straight to the convention center and stood in line, was greeted by lovely people, Corinne and Colleen, that saw me when I got there. And some of my happened to arrive at the exact same time as a couple of my Hoosier Stitchers. So stood in line, got registered, found our table, sat down, made my station. I'm going to take this picture here real quick of what my little desk setup was, and proceeded to stitch and mingle and see other people as they came in, and it was wonderful. I did not do a very good job of taking pictures. I don't know, it's just me. I lived in the moment. I think that is just one of the things that life has taught me, the lessons on here recently. So I just absorbed myself in the moment and saw people that I watch on here and enjoyed those small conversations. I met people that watch and comment with me on here and loved that. There were so many loving people that were scared to meet me, that were courageous to come up and meet me, and I love every different aspect of it. I worked the room to go around and see what people were stitching because I love seeing all the stitching. And in the future, if you are too scared to come up to me, don't be. I am, in my real life, I tell everyone, I'm just Janet. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to move into my stitching, but I want to tell one more thing. And I'm going to do this throughout the whole video because I feel for the first time ever completely a mess on recording this video. Somebody asked me where Janet Jabber came from, and I want to share. They asked if it was from jabbing my cross stitching, and the answer is no. I actually a long time ago created a blog called Janet Jabber. I don't think it exists out there anymore. I don't really know, but it was to journey my to process my journey of weight loss, and it was Jabber instead of talk because it rhymed with Janet. So anyway, it just kind of stuck, and it's just me. So anyway, so just to clear that up, I will have a little, like I said, little bits of information as we go through it. I am going to show you. This is my keepsake swag. See, I love this shirt. It's one of the baseball length ones. Love it, love it. So excited about it. And let's do this. Okay, so this was a surprise finish, fully finished. It was brought to me, and I hauled it to StitchCon, and I am so excited to share it with you because so many of you were along with me on the journey. So some of you stitched it with me, and some of you just cheered me on. So what I am going to show you is One Nation. Are you ready? I'm so excited. This is gorgeous. So I'm teasing you with this border right there. Look, you see this frame? My daughter drove this over to Craft Gallery, and the gal's over there, and my daughter picked out this for me, and I love it, love it, love it. So here we go. I know there's going to be a little bit of glare, people. there it is. It is so gorgeous. I love every bit about this. I cannot wait to hang it on my wall. And I hauled this big old girl to StitchCon to share. So I do have a little bit of information. I hope the lady that, I think it's Salty Stitcher, I think, I'm gonna look for you, wanted to know what I stitched with it. And I didn't know you were supposed to take like everything. Of course, like the information, there was the little cards they had you fill out. Look, there's little cards they had you fill out for what it was that you were displaying on their brag table. I didn't know. I knew my fabric because I said it in every single video, but I didn't know my floss. So my floss on One Nation is cranberry and then Gentle Art Gas. Freedom was the blue and cranberry is the red. So cranberry is what you were looking for. The information you're looking for, I'm putting it here, and I'm going to try to also find your Instagram. So I also have another fully finished at the same time. My daughter dropped off cinnamon stars for me. And again, they picked it all out. And I love this. Oh, look how glorious this is. This is the, almost knocked One Nation down. This is the frame. It's absolutely, we're having problems here. A perfect. Sorry, folks. I can't lose One Nation. That was expensive. Perfect frame for this. I love this. I love this. So thank you to Lizzie. Thank you to the folks at Craft Gallery for picking that out and doing a fabulous job. Fabulous job. All right, so this is what happens. You prop everything around and then like it can all fall. So that is my fully finishes that I have to share with you. I actually have a couple finishes, and one was done before I took off for my road trip, and it is my Halloween stitching that I do on Wednesday, and this is my bitter brew, completely finished. So I have 2 done and like 7 to go. I don't know, but so I get to move on to the next one in that series. And the next piece was, my goal at StitchCon was to ring the bell. I really wanted to start and finish something at StitchCon. I wasn't going to put the pressure on myself, but I did a little bit, because like I really did not get nearly the stitching done this week that I normally do because of prepping for it, my little getaway, and while I was there, I talked so much. But this is what I stitched on, and this was a freebie from Manny D. Donna, and it was given to me by Sallie from my Flosstube Friends Round Robin group. So I'm going to show it to you and give you more details. Oh, look at that. Friends, a thread of love. This is stitched on hand dyeing duo. I'm going to put their name here. The lovely little girls of Georgia Stitcher, and as a little poetic coincidence, aka she found me, Georgia Stitcher sat with me at my table. So that was pretty exciting. And I told her, let the girls know my goal is to finish this, and I'll be telling everybody about it. So again, Sallie from my Round Robin gave this to me, and I even nailed-ish, don't look too close, those French dots on there. I had Beth and Athena cheering me on that I could do them. I was going to try to sub in beads, but I did them. So then I went up and rang that bell on Sunday before I headed home. So super exciting. Now, the next thing I stitched on every day at StitchCon, because I stitch on it every day regardless, and I've done it since I came home, is my Spring Queen. And yes, this little girl goes away soon. I had comments like, I don't know how you do that. Well, I really want to stitch my queens in the season they are, so they just go away. So I believe next Sunday is the beginning of summer. I don't know, I'm gonna double check which date it is. But when that date comes, you're gonna see this one more week, and then I'm putting her away. But here we are, Spring Queen, and this is stitched on Color & Cotton's 28 count Lugana white tee. And wait until you see where she is at. You're not gonna believe it. Well, you're gonna believe it. Oops, got a needle hanging. This is where she's at. I did start working some in the bouquet, and more in the dress. To prepare myself for my getaway, I did some outlining down there so I could just do block stitching while I was gone. And that was a wonderful move on my part because unlike my other retreat that I go to, which that is what we do, we stitch, 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 and visit. But that's 20 people versus the amount of people that were at this event. So I also, one other thing that I did do a little bit of stitching on, just to say that I did stitching on it. And I've been picking on Stacie in my round robin, StacieStitches, about this, but I love her and she knows that. This is my Flosstube Friends, and I am stitching it on 40 count Country Mocha, which is a Newcastle linen. And this is where I got to. I don't remember if it was last time I talked to you. I had to rip out all these little medallions in here, which was 240 stitches on 40 count. It is what it is. I am super excited. I literally am in fill-in mode and it's coming along. As I told Stacie, the reason I had to rip out was because I used poor lighting to get those medallions in. And as you can see, they are like they're the same color. They pop when I put it on the red, but lesson learned-ish. We'll see. I seem to repeat lessons several times in life. But I am loving, of course, I love stitching on this. I love the ladies for this. They're a big part of my daily life now. We talk. We may not talk all throughout the day, but they're my good morning wishes in the morning. And it's wonderful to have that small little group of friends. That's growing. This next piece I stitched at night in the late night stitching room, which was a whole different experience than StitchCon. Yes, I was definitely burning my bridge at both ends, meaning I was super tired. I was lucky to get 6 hours of sleep a night. But it's only a few days and I'm like, I've taken naps and had some good sleep when I've gotten home, but I enjoyed the quaintness of the nighttime stitching, and I stitched with different people because at the big event, you drop your stuff at a table and like take root because you have stuff set up. And then at nighttime, I took these little things. This is the only one I stitched on, and I met different people every night, and I loved it, and I just dropped it. I'm super close to a finish on this. You have seen me stitching knee-high by the 4th of July, and it is on a 16 count baize leaf fabric that was my mama's. I'm bringing this in because I don't know if you're going to tell. I'm bringing it in. I used E12. You cannot tell. The corn is done with E12, and so I have the fluffy stuff at the top, a little directional gauge here, and this is done. And no, I was so tired, I just couldn't get it done. The top of the corn is this orange color that I didn't like, so this will be a finish for you next week because it's probably literally 30 stitches-ish, I don't know, and me to initial it, but it is what it is. I'm super excited with it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of this being my mom's fabric, this is what I mean. I'm going to drop in stories throughout. I dropped off 4 projects to be finished by Keepsake's finishers. So and 2 of them are my mom's and 2 of them are mine. So that gave me great joy to take more of my mama's stuff in. As I did take my mama, not my mama, but my mama's cross stitching that they had Keepsakes had finished before for me, and it sat at my table the whole time. I did not put it on the brag table because I did not know any information about it. And then I felt like my mama was there. All right, I'm going to insert a picture here of the person that won my smalls. And then to go along with that, I am telling you, I told you I wanted to stitch another one for myself. Do you see my birdie? I actually did not. My plans were to stitch on this at StitchCon. That did not happen. But I literally have like 5 leaf stuff done to do, and this will be done, and I'm going to turn it into a pillow for myself. I have almost the exact same stuff, almost. I don't have the trim there. I have a different color trim that came in a pack, but So that hopefully, not fully finished, but that will be coming at you next week. That's my stitching, folks. So if that's all you're here for, this is a perfect place to peace out. I have a few StitchCon things. I have my StitchCon haul, and to talk about my plans, but I understand if you're here just for the stitching. So I'm going to move on right now. I'm not going to go in detail, but we got name tags, of course, so that you knew who you were seeing. There was this passport, which has a couple of little charts in it when I'm 100% stitching, and letters from the Keepsakes crew. Then, I'm trying not to make a gigantic mess. We got noise, this bag, which had a couple of little things in it. It was kind of great for me to use this because I like left my stuff there, stitching and all, locked it up, light and all. They locked the room up, and I pieced out with this. And what my nighttime stitching stuff, I didn't even take there. So perfect. And then this was part of my setup. And one of the things that people did was come around and give you needle minders or whatnot. I got a thread or two. I didn't have stuff to give away. I did premiere a possible logo, and I got a little bit of feedback. So we'll see where that goes. But so this is a knitter's thing. It sits like this on my table, and it sits like this. So these are a few of the needle minders that I got. Oh, look, they're upside down. Rebel Stitchers, Linux Stitch, Kokohamas. This is a new designer that premiered, Holly Freeman, with her stitching Prosel. I didn't say that right, I'm sure. There's other stuff on here too, but this was, somebody walked up and gave me, Rosia walked up and gave me this sunflower. She said I needed it, so it was perfect. And this is magnetic, so it'll hold my chart on there. I actually just used it to lean my charts against. So there is that. Then I was gifted from Amy at Sprinkle Scene Stitches. She fully kitted me up this little chart, and there was other goodies, but and she actually did the called for fabrics, which means that I get a stitch with a new not fabrics, the threads, which means I get a stitch with a new thread designer. Dyer, that's the word, dyer. So anyway, sunflower is absolutely perfect. Keep your face to the sunshine. And you cannot see the shadows. It's what the sunflowers do. So I love this. Amy knows that I love this. She gets me. And it was wonderful to meet her also. So one other thing before I get into my haul from Keepsakes, which we'll get into that. Rosia was getting ready to throw this on the freebie table, and I was like, my daughter would love to stitch that. And she was like, it's hers. So Amira, and the beads are included in it. And then when I handed it to my daughter had seen this before when I just recently took her to the stitching store. And yes, she has stitched off and on. She made me something when she was probably 9. It's in my room. She tells me, Mom, give me a few more years where like life calms down and I think it's going to be my thing. I watch you do it. But when she read the back of it, in the thing it says, in a secret garden, I don't know how many of you read this, but I don't always read this. In a secret garden in the Metropolitan Museum, the lovely Elizabeth performs a piece to enchant the blooms. My daughter's name is Elizabeth. I call her Lizzie, and I was like, oh my gosh, this truly was meant. So Rosia already knows. Thank you so much. My daughter loves it. I've messaged her. Rosia was heaven sent for me. StitchCon can be very overwhelming to where I was just very stimulated from meeting everyone. I loved every bit of it. But a couple of times I just had to step out of the room to take a break. And one of those times Rosia got to me and helped me step away, had me go drive her to, she didn't have a car, so I drove her to get a Diet Coke. That was her story. It was actually put food in my belly so that I could level out, because I got so excited. I just didn't eat at different times, and I was okay. I had protein bars. I was a little prepared, but I needed a bit more than that time. So, all right. keepsakes haul-ish. And I say ish because I did run to Keepsakes. I did not buy anything at Keepsakes because I spent so much at the Annex. I do have pictures of trunk shows. I'll throw those in at the end. I'm trying not to be super noisy. But this is what I gathered as haul at the Annex at StitchCon. And I just dropped some of it. And I'm getting it. So you're going to get to see the top of my head. All right, back. Here's what I got. A couple of StitchCon goodies. This is one of the thread keeps. I love those now. They're my jam. And a corner gauge that says StitchCon. I use a corner gauge to start almost every single project unless it's starting in the center. And I don't do that as much anymore. I did buy a needle minder, the Brood X Stitch. I loved it. So I stepped outside one time to call my husband, and he hears all these, and I'm FaceTiming so that I could see his face. And all of a sudden he hears all these screams going on in the parking lot, and it was people yelling to get those bugs off of them. I don't want to gross anyone out, but I took a picture where they're all on a tree. It was super cute. All right, so what did I pick up? I did go in there like 3 times. 3 times, people. The first time I picked up this chart. I have seen her stuff I didn't see it personally, but she was at Stitch Away 2020, and Keepsakes has their stuff. So I bought a kit from them on my one trip to Keepsakes prior to this event. And this designer sat in the table right next to me. So I was lucky enough or bold enough, and I asked her to sign my pattern. You can't see it right there. She actually wrote me a little note, but she signed my pattern. So she was like, I don't know, she probably thought I was weird, but that's okay. I am weird. The next things were a couple of Keepsakes hands-on design haul that I had to have. Rusting Beach Face. I love this. Saw someone stitching it there. Saw it as a finish there. And Present Blessings. I don't know if I have this already. I have to look through my haul, but if I do, you know what's going to happen. All right, then I went in a second time, and this is all my daughter's fault because she was on the phone with me while I was in the Annex, and I was just walking around, and then I got stuck at the Heart and Hand display and had to have a few of their things. Again, love this one. I saw Steph and Kia B stitching this together and loved it. So it came home with me. And then they had this one on display. Not All Who Wander Are Lost, with those mushrooms and that little tiny snail. Always You. And last but not least, a joyful journal that I'm going to take the word May out. I just like that little bicycle. I think it would be a perfect little lean-to. So there you go. That was visit number 2. Visit number 3 was not as painful, but I seen this little guy in there and I kept going, I think he needs to be mine. I think he needs to be mine. And then I was like, all right, if I go back in there and that chart's still there, he needs to be mine. And this is because as a little girl, this was one of my favorite books. I read this to my daughter with her sitting on my lap. And I am sure in my future, I will do the same with grandchildren. So was it there? It was. Wilbur. Teresa Gogert's Wilbur had to come home with me. This was a punched pattern, and now they turned it into a cross stitch pattern and had to come home with me. I also bought a tiny bit of trim. That's it. That's all. Trim. That was all my haul. I did not score any fabric. I'm not, there was lots of linen there. I'm more of an even weave person. I did want to score some 40 count Burdal. I wasn't lucky enough with that, so it wasn't meant to be. Kept me under wraps. I did not, I was happy with my haul. Then I forgot to show my, I hope you're sticking around. Chris from Chris the Cross Stitcher, who is on Instagram. I was lucky enough to be her exchange partner. And I'm so sad that I am leaving this clear here, but this is gorgeous. I can't wait to tell you this story. So this is what I got in the Smalls exchange, okay? Well, this is not just a little box. I'm sure you're looking at this thinking, oh, what an amazing shaker box. You have no idea how amazing, but I'm going to show you what's inside, and then I'm going to tell you the story. You open it up, and inside is a little pillow, a needle minder, another needle minder. The story behind this is that Chris and her husband took classes on how to make these boxes and bought the dies and the stuff. So this she made. This isn't, her initials are punched on the bottom, which this is barely going to pick it up. You have no idea how blessed I am for this. This is right up my jam. So she told me that you take this wood and you put it in this water trough until it gets pliable so that it can be bent around the mold. Then there's our brass brad nails so that they don't rust. And then around the bottom, which you are not going to see, you put toothpicks in there to hold the bottom on. And then once it sets, you break them off, sand them, and fill it in. I am so happy with this. She has no idea. I told her, but I really don't think she has an idea. So I love this and will treasure it for my ever, and my kid will know about it. It is not going to just end up, my daughter will love that too. I've really barely got a visit with my daughter, but I know my kid. So other than that, I have no shout outs today or whatnot, because I think that I'm going, as I continue on my journey here of cross stitching and whatnot, and post StitchCon, you're going to see me just talk about people where my friendships have grown that I have met from down there. I was so happy to meet people in real life and it be, more than just through the camera. So if you ever get a chance to do something like this, I encourage you to do it. It is scary. It is overwhelming. But if you jump in with both feet, the experience you come away with is really I don't even know what word to say, but every experience is going to be different. I hope to come away with even deeper, more caring friendships and see where those develop and grow. This has given me the courage. I told Athena and Beth that I feel like I will be more comfortable on the Zoom calls with the Black Needle Society. Zan and I have, the crazy band lady, have chit-chatted every single day now since we got home. And I know it's a short time, but I just think that you're going to watch those things grow. Of course, my Stacie, my Flosstube friend, people checked on me to make sure I made it home. I checked on people to make sure they made it home. People that don't have Flosstube channels that were visiting me and stuff, it was just overall a very well-rounded experience. And I made there's a private group that you had to be part of the StitchCon to be in, but I made a post, and just so you all know, what they refer to as retreat hangovers, they're real. I know that from being at them before, but this one hit me hard because I was burning it at both ends. So I was crabby when I came home, and then didn't help that my house was a little messy, but, and then, I was, I've had 2 good solid nights of sleep and a nap, and I'm just now starting to feel normal. So, there's that. So what are my plans, for this next week until I see you again? I'm going to work on my whip goal. So I finished one of the 2 goals. So I have a new start to start, night walk down by the blue flower. I also, have some other goal stitching that I want to get done. I have to get ready for a graduation party this weekend, so we'll see how that all goes. Wishing me luck. My graduation party with my daughter was much more well put together because she has an input and opinion. My son, on the other hand, is very laid back, and this is a blended family situation, so just wish me luck. Wish me luck, folks. I'm going to get off here and stop rambling. I will see you guys in a week. Don't hesitate to ask me questions, leave comments, reach out to me, do whatever you want to do. But regardless, please keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.